Welcome to Lessons in Life and Love with Riana Milne, where we show you how to have the positive mindset for success in all life areas, so you can grow beyond difficult transitions and evolve from those challenging moments that may have influenced your past but will not define your future. It's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve, as we teach you the exact skills needed to attract and keep a lasting, emotionally healthy and conscious relationship. Now, please welcome your host, certified life, dating, and relationship coach, trauma professional, and best-selling author, Riana Milne.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to show 8 of Lessons in Life and Love. I am your global life and love coach, Riana Milne, and tonight's topic is the law of attraction for love, spiritual concepts to help attract your emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious partner. I love this topic, so we're going to start and go deep as much as I can in 1 hour. I always feel like there's so much to say and not enough time. I want you to know that this educational podcast airs every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time and helps both women and men of all ages to heal from past childhood adverse events and abusive relationship trauma or difficult life transitions that impacts them today as adults in both life and love. And I want you all to take advantage of getting your personal questions answered during this live radio show. The past 7 shows, if you haven't listened to them, one show builds on top of the other. So just go back into boldbravemedia.com and pull out the archives and take a listen. And if you're so inspired, call in, or you can always write me at lessonsinlifeandloveshow@gmail.com. If you really want to meet with me personally, that's not a problem either. Just apply for a free Life and Love Transformation Discovery session, and that is a $500 value, and I offer it to you, my listeners, for free. Just apply at rianamilne.com. That's my website. There'll be a pop-up window, and just go ahead and tell me your story. Let's start by diving deep into understanding what the law of attraction for love is. What I'm going to cover tonight is a general review for the law of attraction from The Secret, which is a documentary by Robyn Bryne. It's excellent. It came out, I think, 2008. I have probably watched it 35 times because I use it as a teaching tool for all my coaching clients and even my classes and even the elementary kids that I worked with who had trauma. I taught different concepts from The Secret. So I have a summary to give you on that tonight. We're going to go into the 5 truths about conscious dating, the 3 stages of love, what I write about on the law of attraction from love from my book, Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve. And if we have time, 7 tips to know if he loves you. So hopefully we'll get to cover all of that tonight, and I'll do the best I can without racing through too much. So let's go into basically what is the law of attraction. These concepts are universal, but that's brought out really quite beautifully in the documentary film by Robyn Bryne called The Secret. And you can get that on Netflix. I understand it could even be on YouTube at this point, but it's really worth seeing with someone you love or even your kids. Teach your kids these concepts because they will become conscious and mindful, and it will really help them throughout all areas of their life, as it will for you. The big concept is your thoughts become your feelings, and then what you ultimately become. Throughout the movie, they express that you are a loving child of God. So that word God, whether you're comfortable with it, you can also use the universe, the divine, any higher power, you could use that word. But therefore, you possess inner light, and you're born with everything you need to reach your goals, dreams, and your fullest God-given potential. Buddha says, all that we are is a result of all our thoughts. So you can see where these different lessons throughout the movie come from all spiritual higher books, all religious leaders, philosophers, quantum physics. It's amazing, everybody that has researched this over many, many years. And this is a summary of the law of attraction. Therefore, our thoughts become things. Some of the important concepts from the movie is, let's start with number one, the creative process. And you want to use this during meditation or prayer. And if you've listened to my other shows, you'll know that I recommend 15 minutes of meditation in the morning, because quantum physics shows that 15 minutes of meditation has 8 to 9 hours of positive effects on the brain and the body. So I suggest you do it 15 minutes in the morning. Our clients do a process called divine meditation. I can't go into that tonight with everything else, but prayer works okay too. So there's 4 steps. You ask for what you want, not with words, but mostly with your thoughts, and primary with your feelings. You really want to feel the result of getting what it is that you're asked for. And these feelings should be really happy and deep and loving, and it should feel fantastic. You want to explain how your life would be in every area. When I do my meditation, I go through health, finances, family love and bonding, love of my partner, calling in a partner if you're single. Basically, you're placing your order with the universe, and you are expecting it to be delivered. So you don't ask like it's a wish, and you don't beg. You say, thank you for bringing me my spiritually evolved, amazing man. Thank you for getting my house that I put a bid in on. Whatever it is that you want, you say it with expectations and you feel it. The universe will answer to what you are asking and rearrange things to make it happen. You don't need to know how it will happen, it just will. You can request big or small things. However, the larger requests take more time, and you keep repeating your desires daily. Now, let me give you an example of how this works for me. And I can probably tell you 40 different stories on how it's worked for me. But this is one of my most favorite stories. And I tell it to my clients so they start believing in the process. When I was house shopping down in Florida, I walked into my current home and the sun was shining. It was coming up on the east side. There was a lot of windows, high cathedral ceilings. And I said, this is it, right at the front door. I didn't see anything else. I saw the great room, the sun, the windows, and this big lake in front of me with a few birds flying around, herons, which I happen to think are really beautiful birds. And I'm there, this is it. I love this. I put an offer in. Well, I got a phone call from the realtor. They said, sorry, Riana, there's a cash offer in before you. They accepted the cash offer. They said, it's a solid deal. No way is this going to fall through. And I'm like, oh, really? Now, this was probably house 24. So this was like the perfect one. So I said, okay, we'll keep looking. And we did. But meanwhile, right away, I throw it into my meditations. And I said, thank you for my beautiful home on so-and-so lane, because this is the one I wanted. And step 3 of my meditation process is visualization. So I've been studying and doing meditation for many years, probably since 2009 or 10, and prayer much longer, since my 20s. This visualization process, I started visualizing where every piece of my furniture would go, every piece of art, down to my pillows, down where am I going to put my books and my audio tapes, to what furniture do I need to pick up, and what kind of furniture do I want for that amount of space. Everything, visualizing it every day. About a month and a half later, step 4 of my meditation is a question. You could say, dear God or universe or divine, what do you want me to know? And you just sit in quiet and you listen for the response. Since I grew up Episcopalian, I had learned that God was a man. So I always hear this calm male voice. It was saying, call the realtor, the house is yours. And it kind of like really snapped me out of my meditation. I'm like, what? I have learned over many years to really follow my intuition, because I am spiritual. My intuition is very, very keen. I called the realtor and I'm there, Jess, what about that house that I really like? She says, oh, Riana, I'm sure that sold a long time ago. I said, well, can you look it up? She looked it up in the multi-list. It wasn't there. I said, do me a favor. And I didn't want to explain why. Just call the realtor. She calls me back. And she goes, oh my gosh, how did you know the offer on the house fell through last night? The man took ill and he's not moving to Florida after all. He asked for his money back. And I just had a huge smile. I said, put that offer in, the house is mine. I am sitting in that house tonight doing this radio show. And this is where divine meditation, putting the visualizations out, believing, having deep faith that what you desire will come to you. Some things take a little longer. In the spiritual world, we don't ask why and we don't get angry. You just have profound faith that is being lined up for you and it's supposed to come as it will. The next qualification is to be able to receive. So you must bring yourself into alignment with what you want. This creates feelings of passion, happiness, and joy. You turn what it could be a fantasy for you into a fact. You'll feel joyous and in the zone. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. As a writer, and I've written 7 books, I'm actually writing book number 8 on childhood trauma, but I always had a childhood dream of being in the Barnes & Noble bookstore. And I know this is a global radio show, but that is our biggest bookstore in the U.S., and I used to love to go to the bookstore and always went to self-help and psychology. I was always an avid reader. I want my books in here one day. It was a childhood dream. Well, I took a publishing course, and I remember being in the group class, and they're all saying, let's go around the class, and everybody says, what do you want to do with your books? And somebody says, oh, I'll use it as a marketing tool. Oh, I'll write about 60 pages, and I'll use it as a free gift. Well, they come around to me. I said, I want 2 books. One's about life, one's about love, and they're going to be written to the fact where they complement each other, and they end up in the Barnes & Noble bookstore. And everybody started laughing. And when they stopped laughing, I said, no, I'm really serious. Watch me, which is our motivational mindset for success. This is what I teach my clients. So you have to have the fantasy, you have to have the dream, and then you put yourself into alignment to make it a fact. Now, of course, you couldn't have that fantasy and not write the books. But I made sure I invested in all the professional services to make both books actually worthy of a product that could be in the Barnes & Noble bookstores. Live Beyond Your Dreams is 328 pages. Love is 464 pages. They're not little baby books, They're well researched, they're well written, had great editors, beautiful cover artists, back cover copywriters, great interior designers. These books were put into the form of being a #1 best-selling book, which did go on Amazon, and being in the bookstore. So you can create your dreams into that fact. You just have to put yourself into alignment. That's what that means. Do the work, keep the dream, see it. I remember when my little demo book came to me, I walked into the bookstore and I put it on the shelf under self-help and I took a picture of it and I stuck it on my wall until it actually came to be, and I'm there. Yes, So you can do this. You can make this happen. So those are just, 2 stories of 40 I could tell you. If you say, oh yeah, does this really work? Yes, it really works. If you think angry, fearful, or negative thoughts, that's what's going to come to you. Anger, fear, and negativity. So when I work with people of childhood trauma that have had a lot of sadness in love, their fears are overcoming them and they keep stuck in their fears and their negativity. Like, I'll never find love. All the good ones are taken. I'm always hurt, so I'm going to be hurt again. These are the thoughts that kill your dreams. You have to be very conscious about your thoughts. That's why what I teach as a coach is mindset work. And we do totally transform the minds of the clients that I have through their work and my work and us working together. It's really wonderful to see. You want to get inspired to figure out what's going to create that feeling of having it now and keep away all negative thoughts. We have an exercise that's called capping, where you turn all the negative thoughts into a positive one. Any negative thought like, oh, all the good ones are taken, your capping would be, that's ridiculous. The world is abundant. There's tons of great guys there for me. That's what I mean. You always are capping your negative thoughts and you're retraining your mind from the past childhood negative thinking that you might have grown up with. Don't doubt or delay. Follow the intuitive nudge and act. Like I said, right away when I got that message, I called my realtor and insisted, because twice she said, no, it's not available. I said, do me a favor, third request. Call the realtor. I did act. I've acted whenever I've got these intuitions before and these messages. Start setting clear goals, then meditate by asking for what you want. See the exact vision of it happening. Like I said, I totally decorated my home. I saw my books in BNN. And you trust that it will come. You will attract everything that you require to meet your dreams. The way, you don't need to know how it's going to happen, but the way will unfold to meet your destiny. You just need to take the first step of faith. If you do not go with the changes presented to you in various ways, when Buddhism, they call it the winds of change, will force you to act and do what must be done, because all things happen for a reason in the spiritual world. We don't always understand why these things happen, especially the really difficult or negative things might happen to you, but trust that a profound reason will present itself. An example of this was I was working in the Vineland schools as a SAC counselor, which is student assistance counselor. We're the emotional counselor. We're not a guidance counselor that works on grades. We are the ones that work with the ADHD kids, oppositional defiant, kids that come from traumatized homes. And I worked in every grade level, kindergarten all the way through college as a SAC counselor. The month before, I guess it was January, I got Teacher of the Month. And I did an amazing talent show with the high-risk kids, and I laugh when I say that because they really aren't. They just were going through trauma. And they did a magnificent show. I had it televised. I had them in the newspaper. These little kids that were the problem kids all of a sudden became the leaders of the school. The whole school environment totally changed. So then I got Teacher of the Month, and right after I was voted on to the committee to create the school environment for the following year. That meeting was coming up the following month, and that morning of the meeting I was out giving the administration a talk on suicide prevention. And I walk into the meeting. I was a little bit late because of that. And everyone's just staring at me. I'm like, what? I'm sorry I'm late. Sylvia, the vice principal, I was giving a speech today to the administration. She goes, yes, I know. And then somebody else says, well, you must hate being at this meeting knowing that you're laid off for next year. Now, everybody knew at that table I was laid off but me. I'm like, what? They're like, yes, you're laid off. And I said, oh, okay, well, it would have been nice to have been told personally before everybody else knew. So I said, in light of that, I'm just going to take my books and I need a little time to myself. So I took the books. And in the movie The Secret, there's this man that whispers these quotes, these phenomenal quotes across the screen. And I heard his voice and it said, don't worry, it's time. I just smiled big. I walked out of the office. Well, this is the time. I'm building this new building behind my home in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, to have my own therapy practice there on my property. And the building is almost done. I said, okay, it's February. The school year ends by the mid-June. I can have it open, the CO and the bathroom built by then. I will be ready for my therapy practice. So I started putting that into my meditation, seeing the business thriving, people walking in the door, happy to be there, the environment I wanted to set up for my people. And when I opened the door, the week after school let out that year, I opened up to 99 people in 1 month. That's an extraordinary amount of number for a brand new practice. So here's another example, guys. So that could have been a negative thing. They're like, oh my God, aren't you upset? I mean, at the time I wasn't married. I had a mortgage. My health plan was going to disappear. I'm like, nope, it's time. So I just kept repeating what the voice in my head said. Don't worry, it's time. And then I did the things to put into alignment for it to become what it was, which is a very thriving practice that I actually had the therapy practice for 14 years at Egg Harbor Township, but full-time since 2008, and really, really loved working with all my clients in Jersey. Many of them are still in touch with me, and on my Facebook page, it's wonderful. So that became a positive thing. So at the time, why was a layoff? Well, they lost funding, they lost budget, and 11 SAC counselors were laid off. And it's really sad because in light of today's school environment with all the shootings, we should be the first to be hired in today's day and age. And I'm in Florida. I don't even think they have a SAC counselor in the Florida area, and every school should really have it. The district should have several. Let's move on. So the universe and nature does everything effortlessly. If you look at a beautiful flower growing, there's no rules. They just be. The seed is planted. Nature just makes a great and beautiful flower. You don't have to force it to happen. So you also are a part of nature. If you just relax and do your God-given talent and do the things, God helps those who help themselves. So put the things into alignment that you need to be successful or to find love. You'll feel personally happy and successful. If you feel imprisoned in your current situation, you're really unhappy, then start using the philosophy of The Secret and stop all negative thoughts. The law of attraction, remember, gives you what you think about and what is. So start thinking positive thoughts, writing out all your goals and dreams. My clients wake up to 3 goals a day in the morning of what they're going to do. And every Sunday they think of 3 goals for the week that they want to finish, personally and in business. They also say, what is it that they dream? And they start aligning day by day their goals. Each of my books were written and produced. That means all the way down to the sample copy within 6 months. That's almost unheard of for books those sizes. What I had to do was each day either create the goal and basically I was working Monday through Friday, both at the school and in the therapy practice while I was writing Live. Weekends were my writing time. I would write to exhaustion, but I could see the end product and I set the end goal and I made it. It was so funny when I wrote Love, I'm like, I want to finish this book before I move to Florida, and I finished it, but it was a big one to produce with editing and interior design. I'm like, I didn't get the sample before I moved to Florida. I didn't make my goal. And don't I show up at my townhome in Florida, there's a package against the door, and there's my sample book. I'm like, yes. Before I even walk into my home in Florida, I made my goal. I was very happy to see that. So these goals do work in your life. You don't put too much pressure on yourself, but they're realistic. And you're invested in it because it's something you really dream of. It's something you really want to do. See yourself doing your dreams and they'll come to you. Think positive, look at and pray on your dreams or your goals every day. Some people like to write them down so they see them. You do this first thing in the morning and last thing before bed and throughout your day. I meditate first thing in the morning. I say prayers at night before sleep. I'm putting my intentions out there twice a day. You begin with thinking about all the blessings you do have. The attitude of gratitude is essential for the law of attraction to work. You want to be grateful and appreciate all that you have. Give thanks first thing in the morning. Feel all the feelings of gratitude and you attract much more of it. If it helps, some people like to have a stone or a small object, a crystal, by them to remind them to think positive thoughts throughout your day. A praying stone or crystal to help enforce the attitude of gratitude works for a lot of people. This is a very powerful process because what you visualize will materialize. You dwell upon the end result that you really desire in your life and love, relationship. So you picture it, think it, feel it. Be joyful and trust the process and you will receive it. Briefly, it's ask, answer, and receive. Don't doubt or delay or second guess the process because then you'll ruin the mojo. You ruin the flow. You want to act on your inspiration and your intuition when it comes to you, your divine inner voice, and you will attract what you need and that unfolds daily. The feeling creates the result, not just the words or the thoughts. Get deep with the feeling within your meditation. Feel good about the process. It should never feel like a chore. Think, feel, and do. You must have all 3 in this order for it to work for you. That's a brief summary of the law of attraction from The Secret, done by Robyn Bryne. Again, make sure you see that documentary. I think you'll find it very powerful. The next thing I want to go into is something that I've created for my coaching workbook for singles and couples. This is called The 5 Truths of Conscious Dating, because this is the law of attraction and conscious awareness in dating to find that wonderful partner. The first one is you deserve to be loved and have love in your life. What you believe you can achieve, when you truly believe that you deserve to love and be loved, you will find and choose someone who adores you exactly as you are, your authentic self, and that will be the true love of your life or your soulmate. You want to pull or magnetize or attract the love that you want and stop the unconscious pushing away of love by overcoming any of your self-doubts or past negativity or fears that have been preventing you from finding your soulmate. Now, this is what we work on all the time in my coaching. It's amazing the transformation of the mindset that happens. Number 2, be ready and available for commitment. Your soulmate is seeking you at the same time you're seeking them. Finding the love of your life will happen when you've cleared the space in your life, in your home, in your bedroom, in your garage, whatever it needs to create space for that love, and keep it open long enough for it to be filled with what you really want. Contrary to what you might fear, when you are ready, this happens faster than you can imagine. Number 3, honor your deepest needs and your requirements. You want to be the chooser. You're going to acknowledge your requirements, your needs, your wants. It's good to write this stuff down. Actively find that relationship that meets those requirements, wants, and needs. If you settle for less, you'll get less, and you won't experience the love and the connection that you really, really want. Let your motto be, I'd rather be single than settle. Sometimes that great love takes a little bit more time, but you want to trust that you won't be single forever. Trust when your intuition gives you a strong sense of yes when you have found the love connection that meets your deepest desires. With time, you'll know if all your requirements are met. No human is 100% perfect, and you don't want to micromanage them into perfection. But when you have your requirements, needs, and wants really defined in your mind and in your soul, then you don't go ahead with an exclusive relationship until that partner is in front of you. Number 4, you're going to be your true, authentic self. You can allow yourself to be vulnerable, reveal who you really are, so you can connect with others as your true self and experience who they really are too. This is going to allow you to find and attract your soulmate who will adore you exactly as you are. No pretenses. Number 5, true love does require risk, and it takes faith to have risk in your life. If you do what you've always done, remember you're going to get what you always got. You have to change up your whole sense of dating, of attraction, and that comes with education. That's what I do with coaching. I educate. It's understandable. You want to stay safe. You desire that safety, and you hope love somehow just finds you without the work. Wouldn't everyone just love that? But it doesn't happen that way. Finding your soulmate does require leaving your comfort zone, putting yourself out there into the world, and taking the emotional risks. Even if someone in your past has hurt you, you cannot prejudge someone else if they're going to hurt you. Finding the trust in your heart, in your soul, to take that leap and love again is a big part of this. And faith is required to risk, to transform yourself into a more powerful, better, evolved person. Remember that evolved means being your highest and your best self. When you are that type of person and you put that out into the world, that's the only type of love that you're going to want to accept into your life as well. One of the reflections my clients do along with me is, why are you single? What is your higher purpose for being single at this time? I do say that there are times when you want to say to the universe, I need time to be single right now. One of the big reasons is you're healing on wounds. You still have emotional baggage that you want to clear out and clear up before you date and meet someone new. You want to come to them with an open heart and open soul and mind. Another is you want to learn the relationship skills. Remember, we weren't born with that training manual. I didn't even get the relationship skills taught to me that I would have loved to have had in my master's program. So there's 2 more, but we do need to go to break. So stay with me. We're going to go into a whole lot more. We'll be right back. You're listening to Lessons in Life and Love on Bold Brave Media. Hey, we're back. You're listening to Coach Riana Milne, your global life and love coach on Bold Brave Media Global Network and TuneIn Radio. We are continuing the 5 truths of conscious dating. The last 2 under reflection is you want to learn to accept responsibility for your life, needs, and outcomes. You're not out there dating to trying to find someone to save you or rescue you. You have a great life as it is. This is what we call being a successful single. It's very important that you feel that way about your life in totality before you start dating. And then the last one is identify and change any unproductive habits, patterns, attitudes, and beliefs about dating, about love, relationships, men, women. We have to come out dating with a very positive and loving attitude. And this is what creates the aura and the confidence around love. You're open, ready, and available and wanting to have love. Now we're going to turn to my book, Love Beyond Your Dreams. And this small section, The Law of Attraction for Love, is page 341. And by the way, if you would like free chapter downloads of both both live and love beyond your dreams, just go to my website, rianamilne.com. There's free chapter downloads there. Fill that out and they'll be sent to you. Oh, and if you do order the books, please write a review on Amazon.com for me. Let me know what you liked about the books and tell me you're a listener. That would be awesome. So I love this quote that I started out the chapter with. It's by Bryan Adams. Like attracts like. Whatever the conscious mind thinks and believes, the subconscious identically creates. 2 lessons ideal for finding the emotionally healthy partner in this chapter. I wrote, number 1, be who you want to attract. If you want to attract someone spiritually based, you have to be spiritual. If you want someone honest, be honest. If you want someone socially confident, you also should be. Like me, if you enjoy dancing and want someone who dances, go to places where there's dancing. If you love dogs, attract someone that loves dogs and go to a dog park. But you want to attract someone wealthy, then you need to be wealthy and financially secure yourself. Very important. Number 2, be what you want to attract. If you love the sunny climate, then live in one. I wanted to move to Florida before I was in a relationship. So I was at home and I knew I was going to move here. I said to people I was dating, it's like, look, I am not looking for anything serious. I'm choosing to be single right now because I am moving to Florida. And they said, oh no, you'll fall in love with me and you're going to stay in New Jersey. I'm like, no, you're not hearing me. I am moving to Florida. And I did without a relationship in tow because I wanted to move here single. Your mind is very strong to what it is that you want. If you want marriage, don't date someone who has never been married or is saying to you, I'll never marry again. Don't think you're going to change their mind. If you want to find your financial match and one's financial security, you have to already have it for yourself. And don't date anyone who is not financially secure. Financial match are 2 people that bring value into the relationship and make it a partnership. Salaries don't need to match, but should be relatively similar to what you earn. And neither party should have debt. You should start out your relationship very strong. The law of attractions asks you to pray or meditate on exactly what you want in your life and in love. The clearer you feel about all that you want, the more you can see and then ask for it. I advise my clients to pray every day, twice a day. That's a little motto. Start your prayer with your attitude of gratitude by giving thanks for all your blessings and then ask for what you want exactly. Put the energy and confidence out there and believe you should receive it. As you go out there dating, you should feel like you're the whole package. This makes you more aware of the signs and signals that presents themselves to you each day, inviting you to live in a more conscious way. You're going to notice the signs and the people in front of you instead of being unconscious and walking down the street with your head in your phone. That's not the way you're going to meet someone. You can meet that perfect person anywhere, in a parking lot, on the beach, where I have met great people. It could be anywhere. So you want to really stay open to where that presents. The law says that your focused thoughts, which are backed by emotional feelings, create your reality, and like attracts like. So if you resist or ignore a negative situation or feel a sense of neediness for a mate, your state of mind will only get worse because it's what you are resisting. You're resisting living in the past, so you want to get out of your past. The secret to becoming irresistibly attractive to your current or prospective partner is that satisfaction of your own emotional needs, purpose, your life vision, and core values are in place. You love who you are and you love your life. Men love women who are happy and love their life. When a man feels safe with you, he'll also feel that you're more special than any other woman. He will want your time, your attention, your affection, your touch. You've connected with his deepest emotions, and he'll let you know that he's interested in something more serious and lifelong. Men are really attracted to a woman with a sexy, soft exterior, who is confident and resilient on the inside. You want to tap into that sexy feminine side and let go of anything where you feel overworked, stressed out, worried about balancing your schedule and your to-do list. When you're out dating, you are totally taking the deep breath before you walk out the door and engaging full force in that time, in the present now. You want to be very conscious of your date, ask the questions that you need to ask to find out if this partner is for you, and you're taking time to connect with your more feminine side, especially when you're on your dates. It's funny. It's actually when you don't need a partner that you're more likely to attract one. People who have fulfilled their own emotional and personal needs possess this manner of confidence and self-awareness, and they love who they are. Their own personal sense of power and purpose is intact. They shine with this amazing inner light that attracts others to them. You can only attract love. You can't force someone to love you. So live your own values on a daily basis. Your core values give you purpose, whether that means inspiring others, creating something that you love, leading people, managing, organizing, practicing your spiritual concepts on a daily basis, or just playing and having fun and connecting with nature. Values are what you feel you were born to do, and you do them well. Everyone has a talent. This is something I always taught students. You have a talent. We just need to tap into what it is. You're happily fulfilled and energized, or what we call in the zone, when you actively exercise a core value. When I'm writing and I go back and read what I wrote, I'm like, oh my God, that's really good. It's almost like I'm writing, it's channeling from God to my computer, because I always pray before I write. And I said, please let me write something that could inspire and motivate somebody today. So when I go back, I type so fast, I write pages after pages. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was really good. That's definitely in the zone. You kind of don't even consciously aware you're doing it. It just flows. That's called being in the flow or the zone. When you've met your own needs and are living a purpose-filled life, you'll effortlessly attract loving people and plenty of dating opportunities. What does repel a man is desperation, cheap drama, chasing, manipulating, pretending to be someone other than your true, authentic self. Men appreciate an attractive woman, of course, but they also like to see the allure balanced with that natural and relaxed personality. They just want you to be cool. They always say, if she's a cool chick, I really like her. Somebody that he can have fun with. You can have fun with a bunch of his friends, although you can be a lady at a family function or a black tie affair. That's that combination that's so attractive. A book called The Secret Laws of Attraction by Tulane Meddaner. I'll spell it Mieddaner. I love that book that she wrote. She says values and passions, there's 8 of them, and this brings in love to your life. The first one is cultivate beauty. Let beauty surround you where you live and work by being artistic or creative. Make something beautiful, bring nature inside, or have meaningful art surrounding you that you absolutely love. Number 2 is create. Write, design, build, take classes, cook, develop a business. I love developing new businesses. That's part of my creative process. A product or a service that serves others in some way. That's a big one. 3 is lead. Be a mentor, lead a company, coach a team, volunteer, or motivate through speaking. So rewarding when you work with young people. I love seeing their eyes just light with energy when they learned a new skill or they were really feeling happy about one of their talents. Number 4, contribute. Volunteer to help children or the elderly, minister to others in your community. Number 5, adventure. Travel. Take risks that don't hurt others. Try a daring activity or explore new territory. And that is my adventure of travel, which I absolutely love. Number 6, feel. Take yoga, exercise, dance. Use any of the senses to create or explore or express yourself. Number 7, be spiritual. Join a church or a religious or spiritual group. Read motivational spiritual books. Become a minister. Meditate. These are all things you can do to be more spiritually grounded. Number 8 is teach. Be a teacher, a trainer, a public speaker, or a consultant. And when I read this book many years ago, I read through that list and I'm like, okay, good. I'm doing all of these. And this is, why I have that really loving zest for life, a lot of energy to create and motivate because I'm spiritually grounded and do believe in the laws of attraction and practice them. You can create your own value list. This is just a suggestion with perhaps 8 or 9, 10 values, but pick your top 4 to get started and get busy exploring yourself and start creating that new you that will lead to a life that you absolutely desire and love. To be irresistible and attract love into your life, you must not chase, convince, persuade or seduce someone to be with you. Just be the magnificent you that you can be. If the person you're dating is distant, let them go and put your energy into meeting someone else. That person's not ready for love, and the relationship stops being fun. If it seems like a struggle at the beginning, trust me, it's going to be a nightmare later trying to get his time and attention. When there's true attraction, the person will want to be with you and will do the pursuing. The man will want to pursue. We talked all about caveman brain last week, so listen to that tape too. Love is easy when it's right. It just feels natural and it happens so beautifully. Get involved with life and love will enter into your existence. Be open to what comes your way and live consciously so you don't miss the opportunities that are presenting. Meanwhile, make yourself busy by making your home your personal haven so that when a date visits, he's going to feel love and passion there. Your surroundings should generate an I love my house sense every time you enter it, and that's how I feel every time I come home. Feeling peaceful, safe, content, and calm in your home provides a rejuvenation that you need when you're there. Within the bedroom, create a setting for love that's beautiful, romantic, with candles, aromatherapy, soft lighting, luxurious silk or satin bed linens, romantic music, cleaned and organized, and mess-free countertops. You should feel pure joy in your bedroom and in your bed, whether you're alone or with a partner. Remember, the attitude of gratitude for things you do have will attract more joy into your life. No matter how small, there are many things to be grateful for. Appreciate yourself and all your accomplishments you've had this far in your life. If you're feeling anxious, bored, or uneasy in your current career, the frustration in your life will be evident. Perhaps it's time to take that calculated risk and move or make a career change you've been thinking about. Go back to school or take definite steps to change your life. Now, it's best doing this with a coach that you trust and will help guide you as you're taking these risks. And it's also best when you're single. That way you're not responsible for bringing changes to anybody else's life too. Calculated risks add excitement, change, and challenge to life. And you'll be doing something new, and that will attract wonderful opportunities and new people into your world. Remember, attracting love is really easy and effortless. You don't have to chase a love that's not meant to be. You don't have to seduce or work hard to win someone over. Just be the best, most evolved, whole, happy, and confident person you can be, and love will be attracted to you. There's so many great books on how to live a spiritual life, and I've recommended many of them in the reference sections of both Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. It's really important that you do this study or find a coach that's spiritually evolved that will help you feel amazing and have the law of attraction come into your life. There's another really great book I love that I reference in my love book. It's called Calling in the One, 7 Weeks to Attract the Love of Your Life, and that's by Katherine Woodard Thomas, Thomas. She's got a lot of great things too. And then here, this is a quote from Reverend Michael Beckwith, one of my favorite ministers who I know personally. He's also in The Secret and probably 15 other films. And he also married my daughter, Alexi Panos, and her partner, Preston Smiles. He goes by, he talks around the world like Alexi does, Preston Davis. He says the vision process is always self-examination. It's never, God, I want this, make this happen. It's always, what do I have to do to become, to live the vision, to manifest it, to reveal it? The visioning process then is a process of transformation of the individual. And that's Reverend Michael. Wonderful, brilliant man. You can check out his work online too. Another leader I like is Shakti Gawain, Shakti-Gawain, author of Creative Visualization. And she talks about how visualization is a process that uses the power of imagination to help us manifest what we want in our lives. When we visualize, we create a mental picture of what it is that we want, and that will allow our hearts to feel the feelings would accompany the feeling of having it. It is both a mental and an emotional process. It is a spiritual process governed by intuition or the superconscious mind. I love that. There's the unconscious, the conscious, and they refer to the superconscious mind, which is the evolved state. If we can bypass our issues and go straight to a whole new set of possibilities for our lives, the inspirations we receive when we engage in the visiting process usually live outside and beyond how we currently think of ourselves. So every time you meditate and get into the visualization process, your dreams and goals become more real and more realized. It's really quite a great process to practice the law of attraction in all areas of your life, not only in love, because being single, you want to feel successful in all areas of your life, and easily love will be attracted to you. And I always say the world is abundant. You can meet wonderful men and women out there. It is a discipline to practice living our lives inside of a vision. We're used to defining who we are according to our past experiences or what our moms, dads, teachers, coaches said about us, both good and bad. And unfortunately, the mind tends to remember the negative stuff more than the positive. It does affect what's happening to us right now in our present lives. When you're driven too hard, you're grounded in a belief that you'll never have what it is that you want. So begin relating to your life according to the future that you want to create as something entirely new and beautiful. I know that takes some getting used to for the new practicers of spirituality. But once you master living inside of a vision, you're no longer confined to suffering as the main vehicle for personal growth. It's not difficult, it's a joy. Rather than needing pain to push us, we grow because we're inspired by the ideas of the transformation, of the possibility of who we could become. Only if you'd release the block and the past childhood traumas and the fears and the negativities and embrace that quality of love and living in the now, visualizing to create the future that you really desire. It is an ongoing process. My clients enthusiastically engage in it constantly because their changes are so swift and profound. If you're curious, go on my website, rianamilne.com, and just look up the testimonials. There's about 70 of them, and it's really, really beautiful to see the transformation in my client's life, and that's why I love really what I do. You start living your life from your vision. You begin behaving in ways that might be a little bit new and foreign to you, but just consider the possibility that it's your future and not your past that determines the kinds of choices you're going to make. You're no longer in anger, stuck in anxiety, depression, acting out. There's no emotional triggers. That's all from your past, right? If you're living and making choices from your past, that's why you're stuck in love. A person's committed to creating this loving spiritual partnership, their future. You will behave differently. And if you need help, reach out to me for that free Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session. It is free, but it's a $500 value. And every week I open up 7 slots specifically for this radio show, my listeners. So I do end each show with a thought. A daily reading from Daily Affirmations for the adult children of alcoholics and other traumas. It's by Rokelle Lerner. It says, "This day I will give myself the gift of love. Love is the most healing and therapeutic gift I can give myself. I do not have to reach outside of myself to feel love. It already exists within me. Today I embrace myself in unconditional love. My parents, my friends, my past lovers may not have given me the love I needed. However, today I realize that love has never left me. It is when I don't nurture myself that I frantically search for someone to love me. This desperation leaves me as I go inside myself and discover that I am love. Today I will open wide the door of my heart and allow the love to come flowing in. I accept this love and rejoice." And that day is actually September 18th inside that book. But I just picked the one that inspires me for the day. Now, I want to announce quickly we have a guest next week, an amazing, beautiful spiritual friend of mine, Coach Greg Johnson, will be joining us for a conversation. We're going to continue the thought of how profound spirituality affects our lives. We'll be touching on trauma number 1, how addiction in the family affects you in life and love. And Greg will go into how spiritual healing for those of addiction or past addicts or current addicts or alcoholics. Greg serves high-achieving professionals, artists, actors, and athletes who are ready to break free from dependence and truly love their success and themselves. He is a wonderful person, and I'm sure you're going to love his interview with me. Okay, Transformers, that's all we have time for today. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. And next week, we're going to cover, again, spirituality and healing from addiction and trauma with our special guest, Greg Johnson, global coach and inspiration. And he is a huge inspiration to me always. He will enable people to mend the pieces of their broken hearts and return to wholehearted living. So you don't want to miss it. Please tell your friends who you love and care about this show coming up as well. If you can, please take a moment and give me a 5-star rating and put a comment about the show, what you like and what you would like on an upcoming episode of Lessons in Life and Love on my page at boldbravemedia.com. And remember, you can send me your questions to lessonsinlifeandloveshow@gmail.com and reach out for help during the week at my website, rianamilne.com. Okay, Transformers, be sure to join me next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday night, on Bold Brave Media Global Network and TuneIn Radio. And as always, I am here to help you have the life you desire and the love that you deserve. God bless and have a fabulous week.
We want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. Your personal journey of life and love transformation has only just begun. Go to RianaMilne.com for more resources. And if you're really ready to take action to improve your life or love situation, apply now for a free Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session with Riana, a $500 value. Just contact Riana with your questions and to tell her your story at RianaMilne.com. And remember, it's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve.